Hello, my name is Rodney, and I'm here to discuss the important issues affecting our community, the rising cost of college education, and the burden of students' debt. As we know, the average cost of college is around $70,000, which is insane, in students' loans, which makes it difficult for them to achieve their goals for home shifts, family stability. And today we're asking people questions about this, trying to figure out their opinion on things, and also a way we can solve this problem. My name is Rodney, and I'm here with
Mr. Rosenwald.
All right, Mr. Rosenwald. For today's question, I will be asking you today is understanding the issue. How you feel about the rising cost of college tuition? Do you think it's becoming too expensive for young people today?
I think it's been too expensive for a long time, and now it has gone way too expensive. When I was going to college, it was not great, but you could get enough financial aid that I could get, 2/3 of college covered, and the rest I was able to take on in debt. But now, if college costs $70,000 and you get a $20,000 financial aid per year, that's still leaving you with an insane amount of debt. So yes, it's gone. It was always too much, and now it's out of control.
Okay. Do you think you have any ideas, a way we can stop this or help people more with their college?
I think it's worth having a thoughtful conversation about what I believe everyone has the ability to go to college, and whether or not it's the right choice is based on what you're trying to get out of it, and whether or not the college is doing a good job preparing you. Because you can theoretically, right? When I was a kid, I was told you have to go to college to get a good job. It's worth it to spend more on a good college because then you'll get a better job and you'll make more money that you can use to pay back any debt you got. But over the last 20 or 30 years, that's turned out to not be true, right? And that even if you go to a fancy college, you're just gonna have a lot of debt, and even if you get a good job, it's still not gonna pay you enough to be able to afford paying off your debt without it being a huge issue. So I think it's worth thinking about for everybody, both for students and for the colleges, what are we preparing kids for? What's the point? How can we make sure that our students are leaving college actually prepared to be able to live a happy lifestyle? It's one thing if you get good grades, but you're broke all the time because you have to pay $500 a month in college loan fees. So that's not really an answer. I think the colleges need to do some serious reflection about what they can do to help students be more prepared. I think students, it's worth thinking about how can I get what I need in more cost-efficient ways, because I don't know if just having the fancy degree name is really getting you any benefit anymore.
Thank you for being in my interview.
For sure.
Let's have you.
Yep.
We're discussing the rising cost of average college and education and the burning of student debts. As we know, the average college graduation owes about $3,000 in student loans. So overall, we're talking about how do you feel about the rising college costs and the lower how much money they're giving the students, the lower amount of money they're giving the students. This is Chiyo.
I think that college tuition is definitely getting overpriced, and it's a big issue within our education system. There's a statistic that a large amount of people who go to college don't actually know what they want to do, and then they're paying thousands upon thousands of dollars to graduate with a degree that they may or may not even use. So I do think that paying for college is an issue.
Do you got any idea of ways we can solve this?
I think before we get to college, there needs to be some programs in place, either in high school or maybe outside of high school, where people figure out what they want to do. So if they are paying for college, they're getting what they want out of college, and they're in debt for a good reason instead of being in debt for something they may not want. Also, it's spending our tax dollars better.
Thank you, Chick. All right, today we are here with
Mr. Larry.
Mr. Larry. All right, today we are going to be talking about the rising college tuition and the less money they're getting. The question I will be asking you today is have you or someone you know experienced challenges due to student debts or loans?
Yeah.
Can you tell me how that affected them or affected you?
So I had two students, actually brother and sister, who both got into outstanding schools, but they couldn't close the difference on the amount of money that were being offered. And so they had to go through the route they didn't want to go through, but they did it. So they ended up going 2 years of CCP and then transferring. And now one is finishing up her nursing degree at Temple. And this is, she's at CHOP right now. Hopefully she'll be working there and starting in the spring. And the other one is at Drexel in their co-op and got a full ride. So I think that the challenges of what it costs to go to school are painful, but there are a lot of roads to get there. The catch is that do you have the support? If you don't have the money, then you need the support from your family. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to be able to be. You got to figure out how to make it okay that you're still going to continue to live with your folks for a little bit longer, you know, because could be difficult. Okay. Well.
Another question I have for you is, what do you think is the government responsibility in making college more affordable?
I mean, it's a little bit confusing what the government wants.
What do you mean?
In general, for the population. They talk a good game right now, but the reality is that nobody knows what they're doing, and everything is a trade. Like when we start to separate out trades versus non-trades, everything is a trade. So if you want to go for computer science, that's a trade. If you want to go, the actual ability to code is a trade. Sooner or later, all of these paths lead into like kind of a management role. But you can't say colleges are not give access to people to be able to extend out their skill sets by removing money for them and expect the population to rise together. I mean, it is economically advantageous to have a large population of this country be skilled at something. I think unfortunately there's a perception that there's quite a few people who graduated from college who had a lot of debt, which was predatory debt, and didn't have any skills. But I mean, not to be like ironic, but like it doesn't seem to matter right now what you know, it's kind of like who you know, right? And that's disappointing because people should be able to excel in something or at least get the chance to not suck at it and be rewarded for that, and not just based on like who they were born to or what kind of advantages they were given out of the gate. So part of that is the government's, should be on their things that they should be looking at, But also, like, the government debt, $70,000 a year for college, how expensive?
It is. Well, that was Mr. Larry. Thank you for being in my interview.
Cheese up.